sing, laugh along, we sing a lover song. No way, Jose, to monkeys, gray pills, they're totally a bore. Tinko's got the magic that we're all cheering for. With her steppy stools so trusty, she winks and gives a smile, handing out her white pills, they're the coolest style. Hooray, hooray for white pills, okay. They zap away the gloom and make the world so yay. Not like Desi's black pills, they're no fun at all. Hooray, hooray, white pills, let's have a ball. Hooray, hooray, white pills.
All right. I can't even remember. Oh, obligatory monkey popper. He's apparently now a pub dog.
Monkey must have found I'm not. Monkey's pub sounds pretty cool if it lets the dog in.
I know. Like, I can't think of any pub around here that would let me take my dog in. And I don't even think it's just because he's French.
If it was because he was French, that'd be fine.
He is an ugly boy.
Is it like a husky pup?
Shiba?
Monkeys is a Shiba,
okay.
with
I think he's
really
Shiba,
nice
yeah.
colouring.
Yeah.
Okay. God, everybody in Japan has tiny little dogs. It's adorable.
Oh.
Like, every dog in Japan is absolutely adorable.
They are, but
Well, they have
Shibas
those
can
tiny
get
cats there,
surprisingly
too.
large.
They can. I saw a couple of big ones in Japan. I was like, what the fuck?
What we got? Right. So I thought this was sweet. Grandpa and holding his grandson for the first time, and I think Mr. Dave will like this one. Assuming he hasn't wandered off.
No, I'm here.
Aww.
So yeah, that was just one that made me happy.
Yeah.
And I thought it would make Dave happy too. Dave's like, yeah, grandkids, me go hug him.
I am forever childless.
Reminds me of my granddaughter.
I'm childless by choice, not my choice, but
There's still time. There's still time. So
but
anyway,
that's illegal in this country.
young adults have started to decide that screen time is bad for them because, well, I guess their parents never taught them. So they've now taken it upon themselves to start rejecting screen time.
I'm sorry to be a bit dark for white plus, but it's like it's today's episode of young people invent friends and going outside.
Not even young people invent friends. Like, they're actually sort of going outside and doing things. They're like, no, we feel better when we put social media down. So let's put
Zoomers
social
have
media
invented
down.
hobbies.
Well, dude, I mean, you gotta remember that, like, through a lot of these kids' formative years, they were stuck inside because of fucking COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was like a good 3 years of their teenage years
remember,
where they had no
it
choice
wasn't because of
but just to
COVID,
do
it was
online
because of the
shit.
government.
Well, yeah, because whatever. Yeah, we know. But so they have not, like, they formed their teenage years when they started learning what they like to do and shit like that, or what they need to do for entertainment, start becoming a more like an individuated person. And so now that we're back to being able to do real life shit, I think kids are starting to fucking kids are starting to break away from that, like, oh, let's go play Call of Duty. Let's go. Everybody has an Xbox. Everybody has something. Everybody has an online game they can play with their friend, like 99% of the time. But doing the IRL stuff is, like, it's encouraging to see kids doing the IRL stuff is so enriching.
Yeah, I have noticed a trend in like younger people, like, embracing like things that happened like back in the 90s. Like, there's like a nostalgia, like there's a reason that like like record players and stuff like that are becoming like back into like style, stuff like that. Like they're starting to like discover and embrace like old tangible technologies, like the tangibility of things from technology to like literally the relationships is becoming like this thing that like younger people are seeking out because they're finding themselves unfulfilled by like a fully digital atomized world, you know, which is it's a good thing. In this,
who
and I see this boutique, the
thing?
offline zone. I know, right? In a way, it's like the youth rebelling against their parents, you know.
In a way, yeah.
Well, it
like
does
this-
say on here that it's almost like a social trend, like
Mhm.
you know, they're like, oh well, us going and doing this offline thing, like this is the new trend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
It's like,
interesting.
remember back when Harry Potter came out, like it got like suddenly kids were reading again, you know,
Mhm.
and like it exploded. It basically completely revitalized, you know, a whole genre of writing that had disappeared, which is
sadly
like
a lot of
getting
people
young people to read.
read Harry Potter and then stopped again. And unfortunately,
I
now
don't
those
know, I
people
think-
are in politics. Like
Yeah, but
you're right. Some
Yeah, but-
continued reading, but some just stopped, and now they're running.
Yeah.
the
I
world.
think there's plenty that continued reading because there is a huge thriving industry of YA and middle adult you know,
Yes.
fiction out there now
For
that wasn't there
women.
before because well, yeah, that is true. That is true. It does skew almost entirely for women, which is a problem. But at least it's something.
Yeah.
I'll go with it's something is better than nothing in a sense right now. Well,
Yeah.
one thing I've noticed with a lot of my hobbies that are out in the woods, and there's a lot of more primitive camping types that are coming along in the younger generations, and it makes me feel like such a damned old man right now. But it's nothing for me to see guys and gals in their early 20s doing like primitive camping stuff and not like, oh, look at me, I'm a fucking hippie. Like, no, they're going out and they're getting back to something that is offline where they
Return
cannot
to monk.
yeah it's amazing. But at the same time, it's like, is this going to last? Is this going to be a new trajectory?
I
Or-
certainly hope so. Hopefully they're learning that. Hopefully they're actually going to get in touch with nature, because these fucking eco-tards are driving us crazy. But can we go back to conservationists and proper environmentalists?
Yeah.
People who actually
Get
like
the plastics out of the oceans, kind of
the
stuff.
people who want to look after nature because they'd like to go out and enjoy it, not the people that are like, ooh, you can't eat meat and the cow farts are killing us all. No, they don't give.
I know
They've never even touched grass.
I've been on this rant before. It's you have the environmentalists that do not want people in nature, and then you have the conservationists, the hunters, the people that have gone out of their way to study nature and love it and want to share it, and then that way it imbues other people with that desire to preserve our natural world.
Yeah, it's
unfortunately, environmentalists want to cut people off so fucking much, where it's like, oh yes, let's build a windmill on a place where it kills birds and it destroys the land and it blights everything. But
Let's
you're in
cut
your
down-
little urban shithole.
Well,
And
Let's
you'll never
cut down this
one-
woodland for solar panels. Yeah, good job, guys.
Yes.
Well, the difference is that one group is pro environment, the other group is anti-human. That's the difference.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah, it's like it just a return to like good planetary stewardship, you know.
Yeah. And that's why I always draw the line between I will never be an environmentalist, but I'm always a conservationist.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we need to it's that language game that needs to constantly be played, because if we let it go the wrong way, and Disco is probably going to edit this out, but if we let it go the wrong way where you are like the human species is invasive, that's not what we're part of nature. We need to get back to it. We need to get out of our concrete hellscapes and go back and enjoy what we naturally are.
Mhm.
But Can't do that.
Well, I moved to Hurricane Alley, so I'm gonna experience nature whether I like it or not. So
Now, I recently
nature's going to experience you.
I got visited by a cyclone over Christmas. That was interesting.
oof.
Yeah.
Those are actually way scarier than hurricanes, because hurricanes, yeah, they can destroy your property, but you see them coming days away. You have plenty of time to prepare. Whereas like tornadoes and cyclones, they can
No,
just happen
cyclones
in
are
minutes.
hurricanes.
Oh, they're the same thing. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's Atlantic versus
tornadoes.
Pacific terminology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think they're monsoons down in Japan or something.
No, typhoons. So
Typhoons,
northern
sorry, yes,
hemisphere,
that's it.
it's hurricanes and typhoons, and the southern hemisphere, it's cyclones. And I don't think there's any equivalent in the Indian Ocean, just because it's in the Indian Ocean. They can't do shit.
Mm.
What are they
They
called?
can't be-
Tornadoes? Is that the same everywhere?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Why do we have 3 different names for them?
because they were
That's a good
invented
question.
long before
It's
travel was widespread.
that's
These
part
are
of it,
very old
and it's
words.
also, if I remember right, it's like the rotational direction.
That's probably
plays
how
some
they.
role in
I
it.
think that's how they define the difference now.
I could understand like Japan having a different name, but like in the English-speaking world, like you've got 2
I don't know,
different names.
It's
Which
I
sounds
like
more
the-
threatening to you, cyclone or hurricane?
hurricane.
Hurricane.
But then
That
I
yeah,
live,
sounds better.
it's like I deal with that shit.
Hurricane sounds so much more chaotic and terrifying. It's
So,
too bad that
cyclone
we get-
sounds like it's gentle and loving, and it's
So-
like, well, it's gonna wreck your shit
Well, at
anyway.
the same time, we name our hurricanes like Hurricane Jill. Like we give them the most like
Yeah.
unthreatening names
Mm.
imaginable.
There's
So
a, there's
Yeah.
a
the
list.
the
There's like
reason
an
that there's
official
different
list.
words is, well, hurricane apparently comes from Spanish, which may come from the Taino hurricane, god of the storm.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
I was thinking that didn't sound like an English word.
It doesn't, you're right. But
Cyclone,
the etymology checks out if that's true.
cyclone is English, but it comes from Greek, which also makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, okay.
So, because
Cool.
I was
Etymology
thinking,
is
why
fun.
would the Northern Hemisphere have a different word for hurricane? But a word that doesn't sound English is like, oh yeah, when was the last fucking time England had a hurricane?
We have storm, which has a name. Like they're like, oh,
Yeah.
there's a big storm coming across. Sometimes they're even like hurricane force storm.
Yeah, because hurricanes and cyclones pretty much only occur within a certain boundary of the equator, and I think England and most of Europe is above that. But Spain, yes, Spain would be low enough to get some of them from time to time.
Right, but they're the rotation of the currents in the ocean kind of prohibit it from
Yeah,
really hitting Spain,
but
because all that comes off of the Sahara
but
Desert.
Spain probably wanders around into the areas, and it kind of makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if they got it from Taino, which I think is an island word, possibly.
Well, they were probably named by sailors that were doing the transatlantic
Probably.
trading, stuff like that. So
Yeah, it would be make
Spanish
sense. that it
sailors
came
over
from
on
sailors.
on the Western Hemisphere probably named it.
That would make sense. For those who are interested, the cyclone, which is the English word, it comes from the Greek. Kukloma, wheel, coil of snake, from kuklos, circle.
So,
There we go.
And if you aren't prepared for autistically defining words, you're in the wrong place.
Well, you know.
So, sorry.
Etymology is fun.
Back to disco.
But yeah, the Netherlands have they're opening up screen-free public places so that people can go in and like just have offline time, which I think is really cool.
that's nice.
That is nice, but we used to have those. We called it the
We
library.
did. Well, I think these are
Well, but-
like cafes and stuff. This isn't a train station.
Mm.
Yeah.
There is an Instagram video.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know how
cool.
it'll play, but
Oh, you have to watch it on Instagram.
it.
There you go.
That music? Oh, it's got music. Okay, you can have it silent.
Yeah. Lock their phone away.
That does not look secure enough to lock my phone away.
No, See, this is something I do without having to lock it away.
Yeah,
When
you
I
shouldn't
go
have
out,
to
it's
lock
like
it away.
phone goes in pocket.
That's how
if I find
kind of
something
a-
interesting to do when I'm outside, I can go all day without checking the phone unless it rings. It's when I'm bored that I go to the phone, and well, it's not like I have an alternative, because if I'm bored, it's usually because I'm stuck in a place waiting for some other asshole so I can do something that I actually give a shit about.
Yeah.
I have to say I'm pretty bad when I've got something to do and I'm like, oh, well, I could do the thing that I need to do, or
Yeah.
Or I can
just watch
procrastinate.
this first.
Your word of the day is
3 hours later,
executive
oh.
function. Your word of the day is executive function. Also, hello, Disco.
Oh crap!
Yes.
It's 3 hours later, and I haven't started yet.
No.
Have you received your Autism Council membership card? Yes, Disco.
No,
Oh,
the chairman's slacking.
It's in the mail.
have you seen the state of the Royal Mail?
Yes, I have actually. Right,
Yeah.
what have we got next? Bristol Boy, somebody who doesn't have problems like that. Bristol Boy 11 starts business to fund koi pond dream.
Nice.
Nice.
He
Koi
asked his
pond.
parents if he could have a bigger pond in the garden, and he was told yes, but he'd have to save up his pocket money. His parents didn't expect that he would get to work and open his own business so that he could save up faster.
What business did he open?
It sounds like he was making wooden
Planters.
planters and stuff.
He looks thrilled in that photo.
Does it show what he made?
It does not show the planters, but it does have his pond.
Yeah, there's his pond. He must have got it at the end.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice pond.
Oh, okay. So he hasn't been able to afford the new pond yet, but he has been able to buy a new net to cover his existing pond, built a waterfall, and of course bought more wood to build planters.
That's how you start, man. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. This is what I hate about the current
He's made hedgehog
global
houses.
paradigm. It's like, you've got to get a permit to sell that. Why? It's a kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't tell
No
kids,
license
Farmer.
for that lemonade stand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, don't forget to pay the tax on it too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Don't you have an innocent social media user to go pester?
Right.
Hey, I hear someone said something mean about.
but-
Someone said something untowards towards a pedophile on the internet. Go get them instead.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
But
that
that's
whole
good.
sentence being cut out.
Good for this little kid.
That is good for him.
Like good for
So-
him. Like that's an awesome to show initiative for something that's like, I don't know. Koi ponds are awesome. Personally, I love koi ponds.
Well, at his age,
And getting a net
koi
to go
pond
over
is
your stuff,
ideal.
like, yeah,
The koi will
So-
outlive him.
right.
Yeah.
If they're
totally.
well
Yeah,
looked
they live a
after, they'll
while.
outlive it.
Yeah.
I think 60 or 80 years is common.
I
Oh,
was
a little
going
bit
to-
less of a white bill. My dad used to have koi carp, right? And one
Yeah.
day he looked out the window and there was a herring gull having a
Oh,
buffet.
no.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
no.
unfortunately, herring gulls are protected.
So you can't
Birds.
do anything about it. Yeah.
So he just had to watch as this gull ate his fish.
Well, that's why you get the
Oh.
That's why you get
the nets for the ponds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't have a net.
So-
So he didn't have any fish neither.
Damn.
Yeah.
Especially,
He
especially if, he
wasn't
puts a
very
turtle,
happy.
if he gets a turtle in there. Like turtles live fucking forever, man.
Yeah. No, there was a koi fish in Japan that lived since the 1700s.
Yeah.
It lived like 200 and something years. It like died
Yeah.
in like the 60s.
Granted,
or
I
something.
think
They were-
specifically that 200 something years is rare, but I think 60 to 80 is extremely common.
Yeah,
LGM is saying that they can live for over a century. Yes.
Mhm.
Over a century is not uncommon, but yeah, 60, 80 plus is extremely common.
Wow.
Prime says, don't do
Birds
the
can live a
mistake
long time,
Clarkson
too.
did. He got ghost carp in his father's pond. They ate the normal koi and are almost invisible in water. So they ate all the other fish, and now he can't see them either.
Why do you think it's called ghost carp? Ghost carp.
Oh no.
Oh dear,
You know,
indeed.
Yeah,
nice.
this little boy's parents have been really supportive as well. So
That's
his
awesome.
mum
Yeah.
set him up a Facebook page, and his dad taught him how to safely use the tools so he could make more stuff. And now people tell him what they want, and he's just like, right, I'll make it after school.
Oh, awesome! And so, he's going to learn some woodworking from this too. So
I hope he's
It's gonna
learning
be,
woodworking, because there's
well,
a difference between
it's-
making planters and things and woodworking. I hope he's learning some woodworking, but hey, at least it's
well, I
learning
bet his
work.
dad's probably, because if he had the tools to start doing that originally, I bet his dad's a woodworker, or at least knows a little bit. And so,
As
least
someone
a
who
hobby.
has a bunch of tools.
Yeah. I don't know. The shit looks pretty
That's-
bougie, if I'm honest.
That's
It
true. I
does.
have most of the tools as well, but I don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have all the tools, and I spend that time building things that aren't profitable. Huh.
Well, that's
Well,
what
that's the thing.
makes
Like
it
when
a
it comes
hobby.
to like having all the different saws and stuff like that, you don't think you need them until you need them. You know.
Exactly. And,
The- the
even
trick-
if you just need them once.
The trick is coming up with the project you need it for. That's always been my attitude. It's like, oh, I think I need one of those. It's like, crap. No, I need to come up with a project to justify it to myself.
Well, like I had a table saw and a miter saw like rotting in my garage for so long, until
Yeah.
I went to sell my old house and I needed to build a bunch of like window boxes.
Mm.
And I was like, oh shit, I have everything I need for this except the wood, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I've got so much junk piled up in the garage they can't put the car in anymore.
Oh god.
Oh dear.
That does not sound like a problem.
Well, the problem is that some of it doesn't belong to me. I'm like, can you come and get your fucking timber so I can fit my fucking car in the garage?
Just pull it
Just have a
outside. It's like
policy
get your
of, like,
timber or it's gonna rot in the rain.
It's
like
getting
it.
there.
If it doesn't
See,
get picked up, it becomes my timber.
It mulch is what it becomes.
Oh, no, it's timber that I could use for something. So, being my timber is...
Feel the
Probably
big
how
middle
it's
finger
gonna
with the
go.
guy's name on it.
No, I'd probably use it for actual shit, but I'm not opposed to that idea.
Alright, this is one that Mr. Bleach will like, I think.
Uh-oh.
Cars? What?
No, not cars.
Ooh.
Mm.
History. Woman stunned to see grandparents' wartime locket online after stranger buys it in a thrift shop to find the owner.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Wow.
So essentially, this woman had found the locket in a thrift shop and made it her goal, her mission, to like return it back to the family that it belongs to,
That's
and
freaking
that's
cool.
succeeded.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
So, all right, this kind of happened in my family. So my great uncle's wartime letters, when they sold off the house, the family house, ended up in some auction and up in Massachusetts. And this is all like Tennessee stuff. And this dude tracks down my parents and says, "Hey, I got these letters. I'm an archivist. I've scanned them all. I've gotten what I want out of them. Would you like the letters?" And I'm thinking to myself,
Wow.
and I hear this is like, well, yeah. And it's like you go through, and it's like these wonderful little like vignettes of the Second World War in Europe. And then I've got my grandfather's letters from the Pacific, and it's just like I've got the whole family timeline. It's great.
Nice.
I love stuff like this. It gives me hope that humanity may actually come back from the verge.
Well, sometimes people do use social media for good things and not just, TikTok trends.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not inherently bad.
Yeah.
It's how you use it and apply it.
Mm.
Yeah. and how it misuses itself on purpose. The algorithm's an insidious bitch.
And how the AI
Yeah.
will kill us all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's inherently bad, but can be used for good things.
Well, so this is how they lost it in the first place. That's when the locket resurfaced. According to Brown, it disappeared long before that, perhaps as early as the year 2000, when during a teenager organized house party, some of her grandfather's medals and personal items were allegedly stolen.
Oh,
I would absolutely cut a bitch. If
Yeah.
You know, of all the things to steal.
It's because it's like, oh, it's got to be gold and lock. It's like, no, go away, go away. This is cool stuff. This is beautiful stuff.
Well, the thing is, with a lot of them, they are the object itself is worthless. Like the material's got no material value, and it's got some value to collectors, but it's got far more sentimental value.
Mhm.
And anyone who doesn't think it's got more sentimental than actual value should be shocked.
Oh yeah.
Multiple times and
Yes.
left as on a pike somewhere.
Yes, because they're an ungrateful little shit, and we don't want to keep them. Anyway. Oh, that's dark.
That is a white pill disco.
It is
Bork,
a white
bork,
pill.
bork.
Sticking with the historical theme, another one that Mr. Bleach will like, and it is another
this guy
historical
again.
London one.
Living on an history.
I recently paid a visit to London's oldest shop, Lock & Co Hatters in St James's, a real slice of living history. They were established on this street in 1676.
Nice.
1676.
They're said to be the oldest hat shop in the world, and amazingly is still run by the descendants of the same family today.
That's
You
even
haven't turned into a kebab shop yet.
not for lack of trying, I'm sure.
They invented the bowler hat, for example, back in 1849 when a nobleman
What?
called Edward Cook
Really?
commissioned them to design a hat for his gamekeepers that was low and sturdy so that it would not be knocked off by low branches. It was officially known as the Cook hat. At the back of the shop, you'll find their little heritage room with various artifacts and bits and bobs. This is their conformature, a 19th century head measuring device. It measures the head and puts the measurement onto a little oval card.
I
They have
mean,
the card
they
for
still
many of
use
their famous
these
customers.
today, don't they?
I know, but I need to have that done to me. Just so I
I'd like
Yes.
to have the money to get a proper bespoke hat. God, that
Well, when you next visit London, Bleach, there you go. You can go to the oldest hat shop in the world.
I have to
Rad.
go to London. That's the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. I have to go to any metropolitan area in Britain.
To be
Yeah.
any metropolitan area,
Mm.
cities.
over the years.
Wow,
Including
this is so
Franklin,
cool.
Princess Diana and Franklin D. Roosevelt. Churchill wore a Lock & Co top hat on his wedding day, and they have his
Oh.
ledger here recording his many visits. Admiral Nelson ordered his famous bicorn hats from Lock & Co. His last visit
Wow.
was in September 1805, just 1 month before he was killed at the Battle of Trafalgar. Oscar Wilde bought a fedora from Lock & Co, but was unable to pay
Really?
his debt when he was imprisoned in 1895 for homosexual acts or gross indecency, as it was in law then.
Ah, the
In
good
year
old days.
2000, though, someone wrote to the shop and sent a cheque for £3.30, paying off his debt. They were very
£3.30.
I have to wonder what some of their hats are going to be these days.
What was it called? Lock and Co. Harris.
Yes.
Have a quick,
Yeah.
I'll have a
Does-
quick look now.
Because I bet they would make an amazing Hamburg or
friendly in there.
Oh, they do have a website.
Lock and Co.
Let me get. There's no prices because if you have to ask, you can't afford. Holy
Yeah.
Jesus! Okay, that's women's hats. We know. Okay, a London top hat is £1,041.
Wow.
all right.
Terrible.
I need to start saving up.
Good lord.
Special
Ooh.
collections.
But you-
479 pounds for a Hamburg.
Ooh, fucking $1,000 for a hat.
I mean, A good hat's
Yeah.
worth it, believe me.
Again, that hat better give me a hand job.
Yeah. All men's hats. There we go.
Hey,
I'm not
I'll
buying
put
a
it this way,
fucking beanie or a baseball cap.
A limited
So-
edition house. What's in the limited edition?
I will admit, a Hamburg has gotten me a hand job, so
Oh dear.
There you go. You can get a scarf, a silk scarf for £295. A bargain.
Bargain.
Yeah.
You still ain't got
It's
to buy
definitely
it
a
at that
boot.
price.
It's definitely
Oh,
a
there we go.
boutique.
Now we're talking real hats, some Panamas.
yep. Oh, I do love my Panama.
Newsboys.
As an Australian, I have a big preference for a large brimmed hat.
With corks hanging down, perhaps?
No, not quite. What are they called? The proper ones. Frick.
Sombreros.
Oh, that's cool. They
No,
actually
not a
have
sombrero.
a heritage page on their website, so you can have a look.
Like a fedora.
A
A
Cobra.
fedora, a trilby.
That's what I.
Oh.
A Cobra hats is. As an Australian, I do have a preference for those. So it's like that's where I feel at home with something like a Panama, something with a nice brim and a proper peak, pinched peak.
Yep. Even a boater would be kind of nice to have, for certain occasions. But
Yeah, a
I
proper.
can see Bleach playing with this page layer.
Yeah,
what do you mean later?
If you go into
That's
the
a cool
heritage
setup.
page,
Their trilbies
I'm
actually.
already looking at the silk top hat.
Their trilbies actually
no.
look pretty nice for a trilby.
if you go into their heritage page, you can actually look through their history.
Nice.
All right, I'm there.
Well, you know
Yep,
what
yep.
Bleachers are going to be up to for the next several hours. Oh,
And-
fuck off. £129 for a baseball cap. How about you suck my dick? For 120
Well, it should suck your dick, bro.
or a beret for £145. No, thank you.
Wow.
Is it at least like embossed or engraved? Not engraved, embossed with like a name or
Engraved.
something?
Embroidered.
I would want the band to
Embroidered,
be
whatever.
made. I would want the
Yeah,
hat
it's
band
gonna
to be
need to be
made of
both of
actual
those,
fucking
dude.
gold.
Oh.
That's interesting. They redid the leather interiors of Mark I Brody helmets
Really?
for officers. Right. So I think I'm gonna have to go give myself a hand job over that. Holy shit.
Like,
1784. The hat tax was introduced in Britain. All hat shops had to obtain a license, which
Fucking
cost £2
Britain.
in London and 5 shillings outside of London. The amount of the hat tax was based on the price of the hat. The tax was abolished in 1811.
A
fucking
license for
Brits.
that hat shop.
Hat maker's license.
Absolutely pathetic.
I'm just surprised they actually removed the tax. It's trying to get
Right.
to roll back on tax.
Ooh. Interesting. And so, Albert, where's one of their hats, and that becomes a fashion statement in 1861.
I know what Bleach is going to be spending the rest of the day doing.
Bleach is going to get a Prince Albert.
No.
The whole thing
Yeah,
about
this is
the, is the whole thing about Mad Hatters, like the origin of that is like lead lining inside the top hats.
No, it's Mercury.
Mercury
Mercury.
Vipers.
Right.
Yep, that was part of the process for making the hats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Oh.
so that is like the real origin of that.
Yeah, as mad as a hatter. Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
Okay.
because they did specifically
shit.
they did go crazy. Occupation.
Heavy
Yeah,
lead.
because they're like
poisoning
breathing
is
in
a-
mercury gas for like days on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's. I'm a happy man.
Good. That's
My pills are
that's
working.
one down. One down. All I need is baby podcast again, and I'll get Dave. All right, so this one's more of a funny kind of white bill. I would like to introduce you to the most arrogant chick on the internet.
Oh,
Clementine
No.
Ford?
oh yeah, this is a good one.
To me, I don't know, PhD, cancer biology scientist. I work in a biotech company. We make
I see
COVID-19
this.
testing kits, stuff like that. And then 6. It has nothing to do with your background. I don't think you really have the highest EQ out of all of us. Tyler, he ranked last for me personally because the way he carries himself. He was ranking intelligence based on his point
Tyler
of
ends up
view
in like
and
second
not
place or
taking
something, I
other
think.
people's point of views
And she ends up in
himself.
dead last,
But
I
it really
think.
just came down to his body
Yeah.
language, his demeanor, the way he carried himself, the way he acted towards the group.
You know
So
how you can
number
tell
one,
because she said EQ.
Yeah.
You're
Pseudo
right.
scientific
abomination.
bullshit.
Would be Kaylee.
She puts the Asian
Number 3
dude
would be
ahead of
Tyler,
her
and number 4
because
would
she's
be
like just can't
Shreya,
help but
number 5 is
stereotype
Sean,
everything.
Number 6 is Maria.
Actual
Sit
midway.
dead last.
Wow, and she wasn't even close. Like it's a
No.
huge drop off.
Yep.
No, I do think it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah,
that-
actual midway.
I do think it's funny that the Asian dude was still the highest. Some stereotypes are true.
Right?
It's. I think it's funny. This channel needs to activate their windows.
I think Disco needs to activate our Windows.
Windows is
I think
getting
the
replaced
white
next.
dude, he's like
Oh,
he's in the military, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
I
someone
think
needs some
Good
WD-40.
lord, we need to oil Disco's hinges.
If they weren't being open, they wouldn't be squeaking.
Well, you know, Disco, we've talked about dry sex. Now we have to talk about dry doors, damn it.
Remember, ladies,
Oh,
lubricate your
right,
badges and your doors.
But that's great. It's hilarious. Let's put her right in her place.
112, though.
Yeah.
Like, she was actually the midway of the pack. Like,
I know.
she's just
Mhm.
above average.
Well,
There's nothing more dangerous than a midwit because they're the ones who are like they're too smart to like
they're
be
too
humble, but
stupid to
the-
realize that. Yeah, they're too stupid to realize they're stupid.
Mhm.
well, they're just smart enough to be able to like speak somewhat coherently, but too
Right.
dumb to recognize that they're not as
Mhm.
smart as they think they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just smart enough
smart
to be
enough.
smarter than average, but not
Oh,
smart
not
enough to
smarter than
actually be
average, though.
different. Well, 100 is literally
Yeah.
the average, isn't it?
Smart enough
Yeah.
to get into a university and learn to parrot whatever the narrative
She's a
is.
woman. She could have an IQ of 75 and get into university.
Look at the face, though.
Yeah, she's not happy about that.
Be dumb?
What the hell is the
Uh,
colorful guy's background? What's that guy's story?
Yeah.
Well, this one. I mean, he's still smarter than she is.
But yeah,
I know. I'm
And
just
it's not even
curious.
close.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a blowout.
like she was really confident. Like she talked, so it's exactly like you said. Like she talked a good game. She
Yeah, that's
talked
what
enough
midwits
to
do.
make people think that she was smart. And it's like, oh yeah, well, she's actually just a dumbass pretending to be smart.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think it was
bet
the
she
empathy
would-
of the other people that kept her that kept her out there too. Because they
Yeah.
didn't want to call her on that EQ bull. Oh, she's talking about EQ stuff. Like,
Oh, she's one
yeah,
of those.
maybe not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I reckon she sat there thinking on the run ranking. Like, she's like, yeah, they're gonna move me up ahead of the Asian guy, but like I didn't want to be
Yeah.
too full of myself and say that I was top. Like I've
That right
complimented
there,
myself
That
second.
bottom row is the most stereotypical like PC ranking.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like we have to put the women at the top, but we know that the Asian guy is going to be smarter than the rest of it because he's an Asian guy. We have to put the black woman ahead of the white woman.
Yeah.
You know, like
We've got to put
it
the
follows
we've
like the
got to put the
progressive
white
hierarchy
guy
like to a
last.
T.
Yeah.
Yep.
Though I am surprised that the questionable sexuality vaguely Asian dude isn't higher.
That's
I
still
mean-
male though.
True.
Still vaguely, whatever, you know. Like,
Yeah, he's very ambiguous.
Sorry for
ambiguity
baby
means What?
have been descended upon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Yeah. Baby podcast, go.
It's not quite what I had in mind. I think she gives a bit of snark at the end too.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she doesn't agree with that. Just
And how come I'm the dumb one?
You're all wrong. These idiots don't know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The test was rigged, damn it.
I love the whole time that she's trying to explain to the military guys, like, oh, I just don't think you're that, because your background and blah blah blah, and
Basically, she means
at the
because
end,
he's a
he
white,
should have been like-
jockey-looking dude.
that's really what she meant. That's really what she meant, and he should have been like, in your face, bitch.
Yeah. Bros before he like high fives the Asian dude. Bros before hoes. Like
What's that previous post that it's in reply
You'll
to?
like that one too. Yeah, you know this one. There's no point in showing you this one.
Yeah, this is another one.
Ah.
she's got those AOC vibes.
Holy shit.
Just-
Jubilee actually does put out some good content, I have to say.
Mm.
Oh, I gotta jump back into chat. See, that's why the UK attacked America in 1812 to pay for the loss of the hat tax. Thank you, Bobcat.
You burned down the White House for that?
Yes.
God damn.
The most arrogant chick on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sadly, that's not
Pretty
even
great.
close, but it's damn, it's a good video.
Well, I thought it was a adequate description.
Yeah.
We've been on the internet too long.
Yeah, that's saying a lot too.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
What's the next one?
There's no shortage of arrogant women on the internet,
Speaking of arrogant women on the internet,
Uh-oh.
we've got some actual thought patrolling here. Some real
Nice.
life, in the wild thought patrolling.
We're gonna patrol some thoughts.
So you know Bonnie Blue.
Oh,
You don't need to tell anybody who Bonnie
yes.
Blue is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was removed. She was removed after reports that her social media promoted filming explicit content with fans during a Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest match. So they kicked her out because there's children there. As security escorted her out, sections of the crowd chanted "slut" and "slag" while she responded with provocative gestures aimed at both staff and
This
spectators.
doesn't sound like a white pill, but damn, I'm gonna enjoy it.
What, thoughts being patrolled? How's that not a white pill? Gracie, stop throwing things, please.
Well, I do enjoy seeing thoughts be patrolled. Dumb whore.
And she's getting
Oh,
booed.
really? There's something special about. I really wish that the insult slag would get out of would make it beyond the UK. It's such a
Yes.
great insult. I wish it was used everywhere.
Well, it feels like slut has
We don't
lost
use
its impact when you call a woman
Yeah.
a slut these days. It's like, yeah, you call her a
Slag sounds
slag.
better. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there's something more impactful about the word slag.
And it's also the
Well,
A. You can really drag the A and the G. You
Yeah,
dirty slag.
You slag.
What I also like is you've got the old term slag heap. So it's like, yeah.
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 It's a better insult, and no one says it outside of the UK. It's a shame.
Well, you can always start.
I like how I wish that cunt was used more outside of Australia. It's such a great word. But Americans
know.
especially, you say the word cunt in America, people
They flip out, but it's great.
yeah, they flip out. It's a real
I think this is I think this is really it's hopeful to me because I think that people that do stuff like this really socially abhorrent things, people should be treated in a way like they're a pariah, right? Like you have violated social norms for no real
Good
good
grief.
reason, right? Just for clout, which is all it was. It's just for clout. You know, like
Yeah, just for
everybody
hoe
choosing
clout.
slag is helpful or is hopeful. It's hopeful. So I appreciate this as a white pill very much.
Well, you see this. You see, like Johnny Somali is facing 30+ years in South Korea. You know what I mean?
Yep. I
These are
think, did we
good
have
things.
that last week on White Pills?
Yep.
I am so looking forward to his conviction.
I can't wait.
I'm gonna need a whole fucking barrel of lube
Dude,
if he
like,
gets
of all the
35
things that-
years.
Of all the things that took him down, it was the deep fake shit that really hurt him the most.
Yeah, apparently they've got really intense revenge AI porn laws. in
Yeah,
Korea.
yeah, they have like really intense anti-deepfake laws in South Korea, and he got hit with like 3 of them, and they're like 10 years each.
Oh dang.
Yeah,
dude.
plus
Yeah,
the
like-
other shit he got as well. Plus, apparently he showed up to court drunk and insulted the judge, which is really going to help his sentence.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
gotta go over well.
I don't
'Cause I
know
remember,
how much justice is in Korea's legal system, but like I don't know if it'll impact his conviction chances, but if he is, I imagine it'll absolutely fucking impact the judge's sentencing decisions.
I was watching I was watching Legal Mindset talk about it, and he was like, the thing is that he's going to go away for a long time because they wouldn't have basically allowed it to get this far in the courtroom unless the prosecutors knew that they were going to get like the vast majority of the convictions that they're asking for.
He just buried himself.
He just buried himself.
Yeah.
And it's so wonderful to see. It's so wonderful to see the little niglet get what he deserves.
Yeah. Now, if only that had happened to that housebreaking little shit in the UK.
Yeah, well, that's the difference between the UK.
Yeah, Korea's still a
Yeah,
real
The
South Korea.
housebreaking and the dog stealing. That was the thing that got me.
Oh, god
Like,
damn it.
Oh,
if somebody ran up to me, picked up my pet, and ran off, like they wouldn't find all the pieces.
Yeah.
No.
It's a prank, bro. Wouldn't stop me from kicking the absolute ever loving shit out of it.
Like, no, it's not
It's
prank.
a prank, bro,
that's
would add
that's a
people to the
self-inflicted
ass
death
kicking.
sentence.
Right.
All that it's a prank bro would add is I go looking for the camera after I'm done kicking your ass, and then I kick the camera's ass, and anyone who's watching gets an ass kicking.
It was also D2 because like when he got first arrested, like they were saying like 10 years, like was roughly the amount that they were kind of thinking, like 5 to 10. And now it's like 30 plus. It's like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Let him keep digging. Let him keep digging.
I'm
Okay,
convinced that
eventually.
that's why they haven't held him pending trial. They're probably just sitting there going, "Go on, dumbass, you'll do something else stupid."
Well, apparently that's what they did at first. The prosecutors actually were like allowing him to like break more and more laws because like they can get him on more stuff, and they just knew that more and more stuff would stick, the more and more shit that he did. So they actually strategically arrested him when they did to allow him to rack up as many charges as he did.
Yeah.
So,
well, I hope they send a damn message about civilization.
I hope so. And honestly, he never should have made it out of Japan. Because Japan has got this epidemic of these tourist fuckers, these these sub-Saharan fuckers going to. Well, actually, it's not just them; it's also the Koreans. Actually,
They have a problem
Koreans
with
actually-
tourists in general, just acting like absolute dickheads. Like they need to do a career and find some reprehensible idiot like Johnny Somali, and just throw the friggin' book at.
And they had the chance to. They could have done it to Johnny, but they cucked out.
Yeah.
So
hopefully
they kind of look at what South Korea did and be like, next time
Yeah.
this happens, we're going to do what South Korea did.
Yeah, hopefully they look at how everyone's supporting South Korea and going, maybe next time it's our turn.
Yeah. I wonder how much cartel money gets laundered through that guy.
Oh, man.
Not as much
Because a
as
lot
it
of
used
cartel
to.
money gets laundered through Twitch donations and stuff like that. There
Yeah,
was a huge
I've heard-
scandal a while back. Like a whole shit ton of accounts got banned because they were doing So they were buying Twitch coins and then donating to these like small. There's like small streamers with like 10 or 15 followers, but there's like hundreds of them, and they're just getting tons of donations. And from these certain accounts, were just giving tons of donations to those streamers. Well, it's because they were buying the Twitch coins and then laundering it back into like,
Yeah.
oh, this is my legitimate income through Twitch.
Very easy for
But they,
Amazon to
Well, they-
detect programmatically, though. By the sounds of
Right.
it.
There's the
Have they
Indian
found them?
scammers too on Twitter that do the monetization scam on Twitter.
oh yeah,
God, yeah.
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 Never trust a Jeet.
Well, actually, didn't
But fucking-
Musk ban
Yeah.
all of India
Yes.
from the monetization program?
Yep.
Yeah, he basically
Yeah.
he basically geo-locked the country.
Yep.
Is
Yeah.
what he did. So
Yeah.
like nobody coming out of India can get paid anymore on Twitter,
Based.
Yeah. Good.
which is
But they
amazing.
were
It's
gaming the
amazing
system.
because the scam was revealed and then Elon responded appropriately, which is like, holy, you just don't see that. You know,
Yeah.
it was really
Yeah.
cool to see, like, oh my God, Elon actually did something about this
Yeah.
problem.
Well,
Holy
it
fuck.
helps that now that it's no longer a public company, so he doesn't have to get approval from shareholders or the board. He can just do
Yeah.
whatever he wants.
He's not required to shitify the company.
He doesn't
Yeah.
have some New York district judge getting in his fucking way when it comes to Twitter.
Well, I appreciate that he didn't do it in this really kind of limp way of being like, oh well, we know it's not all, and then just trying to go for IP bans and whatnot. Instead, he's just like, nope, you're mostly scammers, and the
Yeah,
ones
because
that
he understands
aren't
that that's a
are-
practice of whack-a-mole. you
Right.
know?
He's like, yeah, exactly. He's like the ones that aren't doing enough to stop the ones that are, and so we're just gonna block your whole fucking country.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
It's based. Do it.
Based
That's the right
in-
move. It's true. That's the only way to take care of it. Because
Yep.
otherwise you're just playing an endless game of whack-a-mole.
Yep.
Right. So very much like that, like this tweet here, like it's just people are tired of being tolerant of bullshit all the time.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
and so these guys are tired of being tolerant of some horror
Thought fatigue is
potentially
set in.
coming. It
Yeah.
is like, and she advertised like she's gonna go there to do lewd acts. Like it's a family place, lady. Come on. Like we know you don't have any dignity, but at least have respect for the people around you. And she won't. And so they kick her out, and everybody calls her a whore, a slut, and a slag. It's a good thing to see. It's a
Mhm.
nice white pill. I appreciate
Thought
it.
fatigue, black fatigue.
He's
It's
a white
all
pill.
it's all a reality.
It's DEI fatigue. I mean, that's what it's boiled down to.
Yeah.
Diversity
Thought
fatigue.
fatigue.
Yeah.
So good white pill.
This
Good white pill.
fatigue. Yeah.
Well, I have a couple wholesome videos now.
Oh, good.
Right on.
Hey, that
First
was a
one,
wholesome
happier.
video.
Yes. But I love wholesome videos. So this fella in a wheelchair, I assume he wanted to have a first dance with his new wife, and his mates made sure to make it happen. What's that? No, there's no sound. There's no sound on the video.
Probably for the
Which is probably
best.
just as
Guaranteed
well.
the music
Yeah.
will be copyrighted.
Wheelchair bro, marry a baddie.
Yeah.
God damn, good for him.
Mm.
Probably have that.
Oh
As
yeah.
long as she's not a
He
dependent.
looks like a vet.
It looks like his bro's playing this out too. Like,
Oh,
That's
yeah.
his dad. It's probably his dad. Miss.
Actually, yeah, the guy on the right. could be
Grandpa?
his
His dad is grandpa?
Or yeah,
Oh,
maybe.
holy shit.
I like how there's one behind too, just to make sure he doesn't fall backwards.
Then again, at this point, it could be her dad.
Yeah.
But damn, he did
Yeah,
well
I
for
thought that was
himself.
sweet.
He's done well
He's
for
a bottom.
himself.
He's a bottom. She's a top. It all works out.
He's done well for himself, though. He's
Oh.
got a smoking hot woman and great friends. That's the way to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He didn't just learn to
That's the
dance
dream
for their
right there.
wedding. Like he had to get 3 friends to learn to dance too.
Think about the amount of coordination that took ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Like they had those Velcro strips to for his legs and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was rehearsed many
Yep.
times.
Clearly,
that's really cool.
it looks like she didn't have a clue either, which is awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
She
like
may
really
have.
surprised to her.
But
Well, I
Maybe.
think that, like, I guess this was probably
So-
what she thought the first dance was. Just kind of like sitting on his knee, and he's like, "Ah, hang
Yep.
on a second, I have one
No.
little surprise."
Then the dudes come out with the chairs.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
You love
It
to
is
see
great.
it.
Yep,
Very
that's
sweet.
awesome.
It's
Good
shame.
job, Karen from Health and Safety didn't
Yeah.
get involved. I thought she'd have been like, ah.
Yeah. It's a shame that the original video probably had copyrighted music, but probably for the best.
Yeah, there's
But
I
they
couldn't
muted it.
hear any music, so
It's slow dance music. It's not crucial.
No, but it
It's
absolutely.
not like they're swing dancing.
Yeah.
They were singing they were dancing to Kanye's new song.
Oh my god, we definitely can't show that here. But have you
Oh,
seen the
no.
videos from
No.
Japan? Have you seen the
the
videos
whole
from
video
Japan?
will just be Bork.
Japan and Thailand and all over
You see the
Southeast
video
Asia.
of like the Southeast Asian clubs that are playing
Yeah,
Kanye's
they're all
new
doing
song?
it.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, they
Throwing the
fucking
Roman.
they fucking love it down there. It's amazing.
Yep, and they are going full Roman. It's hilarious.
It's so funny.
They're playing at the clubs here now too. So
Oh dear.
Well, because it's like
Yeah.
it's a very rebellious song. It's like, you took away my kids, my life, my everything. So I'm gonna basically say fuck you and say the thing that will offend you the most.
yeah,
Like it's just a big middle finger, of a
Yeah.
song. It's like I can respect that.
All right, we have another. This one's even sappier.
Oh god.
But I thought it was cute. It's a couple slowly falling in love.
By a doorbell cam.
Yep.
Yes. Let's just turn the music off so we don't get
Oh,
copyright
I
stuff.
reckon I know how this is going to go. That's going to be good.
So there's a side hug. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's he walks her home every night.
No,
Both arms.
Yep, both arms.
Flowers.
Flowers.
Flowers. Oh, and now
Flowers.
she's going.
They're facing each other.
Yep, she's got hugging him. Oh, opposite hug.
Oh,
Oh,
Move that hand
a
down,
little bit
sir.
lower. His hands are getting lower.
You know that his hands want to go lower, but he knows the camera's
I know.
there.
Oh, little
Oh.
dingery.
Oh.
Do it.
Yeah. Do it. Do it.
They haven't kissed yet, have they?
no,
Ah,
They just
no,
did.
no,
Oh, no.
no.
So how many dates is that before kiss?
There's a lot of dates before even kissed.
Yep.
Yeah.
this is just in front of the ring cam.
Yeah,
you don't
this
know
is
what.
just in front of the
Right,
ring
yeah,
cam.
that's for
They obviously they know the camera's there.
Yeah.
Good dingering. Good, sir. Yes, yes.
Aw,
Oh,
And I thought that was sweet.
that is.
that is sweet.
Like people just don't date now; they Tinder,
Yeah.
Tinder.
and they're
Well, to be-
obviously dating, which was for
To be fair, like a lot of these dating apps have like collapsed,
Good.
and
Good.
they've become very niche. Essentially, like a lot of them are advertising for like queer shit and stuff like that.
That's probably
yeah.
why they collapsed.
Because they're no longer appealing to like the mainstream anymore, so they have to go niche into like
Well, they
weird
were never
hookup
effective.
bullshit.
They were never effective for anyone outside of like the top 5-10% of men. So the bottom 90% of men have gone, well, it's a waste of my time. So
Are
there's
you
only
saying
this-
I'm part of the top 5? Damn.
or you're pulling off some other bullshit. Maybe you just smell rich.
I'm hoping that's the case.
That must be it.
Then again, it's probably the mustache.
Well, the dating apps are like sausage
Yeah.
fest too.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
It's all just full of men, and once they realize that there's no women there, like didn't which one is one of them did research and released it, and it was something like
okay, Cupid.
yeah, okay, Cupid, and
Yeah.
it's something like only 10% of the 9 out of 10 guys were getting rated as 5 out of 10, which conveniently enough ties into that whole hoflation topic I wrote about.
Yep.
on the Sultan's website, but it's kind of like the reverse.
Yeah. Oh, math
Oh, you
does a
mean
lot
like
of
the one
stuff
where
about that.
like when you ask guys like to rate women, it ends up on like on a perfect bell curve,
Mm-hmm.
and then but when you ask girls to do the same thing, it's like everyone is shit except for like top like
It's a fucking
1% or
Pareto
10.
distribution.
Yeah,
You
it's
say
like,
that,
like just
but
ludicrously
who was
out of
that?
10. Yeah.
Who was that actress who, like, you know, when she's dolled up with the red carpet, they're like, oh, she's like absolutely
Tits
gorgeous.
McGee.
And then
Sweeney.
they
Sydney
had
Sweeney.
got a picture of her when she's just like at home at her swimming pool, and everybody's like, oh my god, she's so mad.
Yeah. Well,
It's like,
yeah.
she's
Well, social
not
media and everything is
artificially
really.
dressed up.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And it's like Bez pointed out in his article. Like social media has really inflated our.
Mhm.
It's really skewed our perception of beauty.
yeah. I'll
Mhm.
just.
That's the
beauty
problem when you
averages.
can
over to
window
that.
shop.
So just
Right,
looking
right.
over
Like-
that, yeah, that's what I wrote about in the Hoverton window, specifically
Yeah.
because Disco sent me that article about Sydney Sweeney while I was writing it, so I included that. There she is.
Because, you know, I don't know. That's just one of those things where it's like, I prefer a woman that kind of looks a little more on the plain side, because when they do want to go to, you know,
You
dress
don't want
very
a
nicely.
slag.
Exactly.
You want a normal person who will do slaggy things for you from time to time.
And only me.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want a woman who weighs less than me, and isn't and isn't pure evil.
Yeah. So not Clementine Ford. Well, I guess I'll stop that. hookup from happening.
Unfortunately, with the amount of feminists in Australia, pure evil does wipe out a lot of the female population.
Probably wipes out a lot
Yeah.
of the weighs less than you do.
Well, here in America, the obesity is like a massive it's
an epidemic.
pun
It's because our
intended.
food is poisoning us. That's why.
I am ridiculously overweight, and there are still women with a higher BMI than me because, of course, they're shorter. So I go out from time to time and see some of these women going, I'm like, holy shit, you're fatter than I am. Like, they might weigh the same or less than I do, but because they're like a foot shorter, the same amount of weight goes a lot
Yeah, they'll
wider.
walk right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I still walk, but they do waddle.
Yeah.
So when the fact that I, being horrendously overweight, say I refuse to have anything to do with women that weigh more than me, and that still excludes some women, that's a problem.
Yeah. It's like that in America too, though. Because I mean, our food supply here in America is just poison. It's absolutely poison.
Yeah.
I wish that RFK Jr. would do more than what he's doing, honestly.
Mm.
Like, he's taking baby steps right now. I hope that he starts doing major overhauls and stuff like that. Like, I know that the food dye banning, that's happening. I know that that's happening. And I know that, and there's like a few ingredients that are but you got to get rid of high fructose corn syrup. That's a huge one. But that'll never happen because so many farmers are subsidized by the government to grow corn. You know, it's a huge thing. But high fructose corn syrup, aspartame, the seed oil shit. There's so much awful shit that's literally illegal everywhere else in the world. But for some reason, it's rampant in this country.
Yeah, you guys are weird.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
the majority of the corn grown in our country is for livestock. It's fed to livestock.
Yep. I mean, it's one of those, and I know Disco and I have talked about this quite a bit, where it's like, unfortunately, we have to do all this long-term shelf-stable bullshit because we've basically unified our distribution system so heavily, where we're in everywhere else but the United States, going to the local market means you're going to get local food. Here, it's like, well, if you go to the local market, you might get something made, grown in Mexico or
we say
made
that,
in
but
Wyoming. But it's getting worse in Europe now
too. Spawn the other day where they were saying all of the local abattoirs are shutting down, and so he wants to do, all the local farms kind of band together and run shops and restaurants and stuff so that they can sell their goods locally, and they can't because they're struggling to because they're having to send the animals further and further afield to the abattoir, and then it's kind of getting mixed into the same meat supply.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Funny
we need
longer.
to bring back, like Farmer Bob down the road doing the butchering for the community, where it's like, yeah, maybe he only like grows a certain amount of things, but he's doing the butchering for everybody else in the community. Okay? There's ways around it, but
Yeah.
we have to be willing to pay people a reasonable wage for what's kind of a shit job.
You remember how
think
excited
that,
I was when the butcher's van came to town. And I was like,
Oh god, yeah.
like, oh my god, bleach, look
Oh,
all
yeah.
the meat that I got.
I
Like,
mean,
just
it was
out
like-
with the butcher's van.
It was
Like, this was probably
weeks and
live this
weeks
morning.
of just like disco tormenting me with meat.
Yeah, dude, it was wild. Like when I was a geologist for like almost 3 years. Just wasn't the lifestyle for me. But during that time, I worked at this little out of the way, middle of nowhere mine up in central Idaho. And I was just surrounded by people who would just like hunt and butcher their own food.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And so like we would like eat just like venison that was like hunted yesterday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, this is like nothing like what you taste in the grocery store.
Yeah,
You
no
know?
preservatives, no nothing.
It's
like,
amazing.
This wiggly and
Yeah,
morning.
exactly. That
There's a
was the
restaurant,
first time. Yeah, that was the first time I started like paying attention to that kind of shit, and now I'm like black pilled on the American diet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the worst part is there's kind of no way around it unless you do everything yourself, or you have access. Because I used to have an amazing butcher shop where I live, and they closed up during the pandemic.
Oh.
So I've got to go an hour and a half to find an equivalent butcher shop. I can't
Yeah.
afford to do that regularly.
I'm spoiled here. I guess we're spoiled here in Idaho because I can go down to Albertsons and they have a fucking grocery. They have a butcher shop.
Yeah.
They don't have a. They do at Winco, but it's more like a deli meat department. But like a full-on butcher department, and then Costco. If you've ever been to Costco, they got a giant ass meat department there. Like
Yeah.
butchers and shit, cutting everything up for everybody. And
So you live in Idaho?
yeah. I'm in Boise.
Yeah. Have you?
I talk to myself all the time. Everybody knows.
Have you heard of a town called Yellow Pine?
Oh yeah, I know where Yellow Pine is. Dude.
Okay.
Wait,
The
so
harmonica fellas. They have the harmonica
Yes.
festival there.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I worked out of.
Oh yeah, because they have a bunch of
So you
mines.
know how out. Yeah, so you know how out of the way I was.
Yeah. You know what's wild about Yellow Pine is it's actually if you could just drive straight there from the capital, it's like I think maybe an hour and a half, 2-hour drive. But because you can't get to the goddamn place except for through windy ass mountain roads, it's like a 3 or 4 hour drive to get there from here.
Isn't
yeah.
that east of McCall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
East of McCall.
Yep.
Cool.
I'm amazed.
Yeah.
Like you're the first people I've ever talked about who know these towns that I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
It's like nobody. Like I tell people like where I used to work, and be like, nobody hears about these towns except people who live in Idaho. And it's like, how many fucking people live in Idaho?
Well, yeah, there's like 100 fucking people in Yellow Pine. Like there's
Yeah, exactly.
There's
There's
nobody who
no
lives there.
pavement. There's no stoplights.
Yeah.
There's no law enforcement. There's a volunteer fire force, and the post office is open 2 days a week. You know,
Yeah.
this is how remote this place is. So,
But yeah, but that's like, but those places, you're right. They have they're like the more close to living to nature kind of way. But they don't have a choice really. You know, it's easy if you don't grow your
Especially
own
in the wintertime.
vegetables. Oh yeah, absolutely.
like a lot of them,
So-
they hunt and then they butcher meat, and then they'll butcher like a couple animals that'll last them like the whole winter time.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. Elk are huge, dude.
oh yeah, you take down one elk, you're good for the winter.
Yeah,
You
you
know.
get a lot of meat off an elk. Plus, there's
So-
moose and shit around there too. So there's a lot of good. I talked to dudes up north in Coeur d'Alene and out there that hunt bear.
You
that
might
kill
be getting
bear.
a touch too far off topic.
Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, Disco. We're off the. This is a really
Wait
cute
for
video.
reservation.
It is very much a white pill.
Yes, the video was a white pill, though I'm not sure I can remember which one it was.
It's cute.
It was.
It was yes,
it
it
was
was
a
the very
couple
cute
falling in
couple
love,
falling in love.
which,
Well, that's a great. I want to see a sequel video. That'll
Maybe
them breaking up,
Yeah, they might release it on their own.
totally growing apart over time.
the Netflix sequel.
Another wholesome video. A
Okay.
toddler sees grandpa using a cane and decides to copy.
Oh my god.
This one's for Dave, I think.
Let's see it.
Well, like
See, he's
Look at him leaning forward.
grandpa.
He's leaning forward. He's got osteoporosis.
Dude.
It's like she's mocking him.
I know.
Dude, I can walk faster than you.
Yeah,
A
she's
little bit
faster
of
than
more
him.
breathing.
She's like, this is how you look.
You hunchback old bastard.
And he's like, do I really look like that?
I'm gonna be taller than you in like 15 years. Watch out.
Sometimes kids are too on it.
You'll be dead by then, so who cares?
Yeah, she does actually look like the What do we have here? So I thought this was cute. I love this kind of thing where people
Looks
just
like it's
got
progressional
music,
like picture. Well, this is a video, but yeah, we'll turn the music off just because
It's
I don't
poo,
like
but
that.
they keep kicking Disco in the teeth.
I know. I already got copyright, by the way, on the woman with no arms video.
Oh, for
Oh,
course.
snap. Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm
Silly.
sure that's totally in copyright.
Some archive thing I think was like mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they totally own the rights to that. Anyway.
But I'm not partnered anymore, so they can't steal the money. There's no money to be had. But yeah, I like this kind of thing. It's just watching progression over time.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So he goes from like no month old. I think a year.
That's what it says.
Yeah, it said 12.
Title.
Oh.
You can just see slowly coming online.
Yeah.
Oh, kid's getting bored now.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on, Dad, put me down.
Yeah, you can see the
Yeah.
brain.
Becoming
Becoming
aware. Yeah, the
develop.
kid's starting to become aware.
There you go.
Mhm. The kid is definitely over the concept now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You can stop now, Daddy.
No. That's awesome.
Reminds me of that video that where it's a dad who took a picture of his daughter like once a week for like the first 18 years of her life or something like that.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen that.
yeah.
Yeah, I really like that.
That's wild.
That's
You
cool
just
stuff.
watch her age in real time.
Yeah.
Doggos.
Doggos.
This doggo does not want to let his human get away.
Oh, it's a monkey.
I'm watching you.
Well, that's incredible. It gives no shits about being on the lead.
It's like, you will hold this. Your job is to hold this pace.
That's hilarious.
That's brilliant.
Dog's not just lead to train. He's trying to make sure that his human is trained. It's the growling. Like,
He's like, God damn it, take it.
I didn't think
walk
you
and then the eye is just like, I'm watching that this stays in your hand. It best stay in your hand. And my human almost got away. Now, I believe the rest were this one was from Dave.
Oh yeah.
Dave's
Our girl-
been
it's our
watching the
girl
Good News
Jen,
Girl
dude.
again.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. I haven't actually watched this one. So we will see.
Okay.
When a grandfather named Byron lost his wife of 59 years, their beloved senior cat Mackenzie was all he had left of her. As his own health declined, he often refused to go to the hospital because he didn't want to leave her behind.
Oh.
And when he passed peacefully at 85, 14-year-old Mackenzie was left without her home. She wasn't exactly cuddly, and Byron's granddaughter Angela had never felt particularly welcome around the feisty cat. But she couldn't bear the thought of her grandfather's best friend ending up in a shelter, so she brought her home. Slowly, Mackenzie warmed up to Angela. She started going on beach walks, boat rides.
Is she in a boat?
She is.
Yes, in a
Little
canoe.
kayak and everything.
With a life, she's got a
14.
life jacket on. It's
Shit,
okay.
that
brave
cat
for a
looks
cat.
incredible for
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, I
I
know.
know.
Yeah.
14 is really old for a cat.
Mm.
Yeah, it is.
Did Rosa show you her Hitler cat?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
rides, and even kayaking. As Angela shared their adventures online, people kept asking about Mackenzie's name, and Angela's reply was always, "I didn't name her, she's my grandfather's cat." That one sentence sparked a flood of comments with stories of grandparents' pets who had nowhere to go. Inspired to help, Angela launched My Grandfather's Cat on her grandfather's birthday in 2021. The nonprofit helps seniors and terminally ill people find loving homes for their pets, letting them choose their pet's new forever family so that they can truly be at peace. My Grandfather's Cat has now helped over 800 animals and 500 families, all because one man loved a cat and one granddaughter made sure she had somewhere to go.
Oh, that's really
That's
sweet.
cool.
The ending's even better. Well, there you go.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Jen.
Who? Yes. Also, I do
The
need to
good news
subscribe to
girl.
her. There we go. I think this one was Maureen. A
I
group
think
of
that
high
was.
school students volunteers to carry caskets for homeless veterans who have no family to honor them.
Wow.
Good
I
on
mean,
them.
it's sad that, veterans dying, but
Yeah, good on the kids. Like, that's like
good on the kids.
Yeah.
the fucking
Yeah.
the local VA or National Guard or like nearest military depot should be doing this. But
You know, VFW or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think.
Well, they probably, I mean, they may have volunteered to do it too, to help alongside of those guys. But really, it's another one of those things that shows, honor in the youth, and that's a real hopeful thing.
Mhm.
there's
you know-
clearly some planning to it as well. They've got the white gloves and everything.
This is one of those things where I'm really hopeful for the Zoomers, because I'm seeing a lot more of this sort of mentality show up amongst them than millennials.
These might
So,
actually
I-
be the alphas.
Gen Z and Alpha are both
Yeah.
like this.
Well,
Yeah.
they've seen the bad times that weak men create, and they don't want.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
That's
It's one of those. It gives you hope that this is this terminal millennial path that we've been on may actually be wiped away.
Oh God, I hope
Oh
so.
God, I can only pray.
I can only hope I live long enough to see it, and things don't have to get too much worse first.
Yeah.
Hi from the UK.
Yeah, hi from Australia.
I'm seriously considering going to Bleach's sofa.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Bleach is going to go away
I've got a-
one weekend and come back to like a fucking shantytown in his backyard, and there won't be a single Mexican in sight.
As long as I don't have to smell curry, I'm good.
I might need an asylum claim.
Yeah, you get the shed then.
It might be better. It might be better. The way the UK is
Technically got a
going.
wood stove.
It's just a
Reminder
question
that-
of whether communism or Sharia gets us first.
Yeah. But a
No,
reminder,
why not communist Sharia?
Yeah, a reminder for Americans that aren't aware of the situation. Australia and England are so bad that California is an improvement.
No, I can believe that.
Yep.
I can believe that because I pay attention. I don't really pay attention to Australia, but I do pay attention to the UK.
Mm.
And I'm just like,
Worse
man,
than the
like
media
I'd
would
rather
have you
live in
believe.
California than the fucking UK.
Me
Oh,
too.
for real,
Like
dude,
California isn't going around arresting people for social media posts. Like even
I'd
in
like to,
California, we
but that
still
pesky
have the
First
First and Second
Amendment.
Amendments. Yeah, we still have the First Amendment, even if you're in California.
Mhm.
Well, I recently met up with a dude that lives in London. Him and his wife came to town, and just talking to him about like how bad London is. You know,
Mhm.
like I took him out to get beers, and when we got to the restaurant, I didn't roll my windows up, and he got out. I was like, "Oh, I need to lock the door." It's like, "No, you don't. It's fine. There's not. First off, there's nothing the car was stealing, and second off, there's not enough meth heads around here for us to worry about that." So,
I've started locking the doors when we're still in it.
yeah. But then also, he was surprised because he's like, "I never see this many white people in one place."
That is
Yeah.
true. Like,
That's
it's
London.
actually true. You walk down the street and it's just like you maybe see one other white person and
One
like
other.
no others. Now I'm
you
quite
see,
close
like,
to London. I
you
know
see
it's
that-
further north, but like this close to London, like you're a massive minority.
You see that video of like this is what it looks like just going to the Olympics in Paris.
Oh yeah, I have seen that.
You see that? Yeah, it is just like it's this diversity shithole dystopia nightmare that you have to
Yeah.
like trod through to get to the Olympic Stadium that they've made in Paris. It was like, jeez, dude.
You
A
mean
sea
the
of
city with
Africans
the
and
river
Arabs.
that was so full of shit they had that all the swimmers
Yeah.
got sick?
Yeah, they all
Oh
got
god,
sick.
that's fantastic. That's hilarious.
Yeah, but they
Yes.
knew that as well.
They
Like,
did.
Oh,
they
yeah.
were supposed to clean it, and they didn't.
Yeah, they couldn't.
Well, they tried to,
couldn't.
but they literally couldn't get enough shit out in the short amount of time necessary. So they still got sick.
Yep. Well, you can't stop it when. Anyhow, that's getting into a black pill territory.
Yeah.
We should stick to white pills. This is a great picture, and I appreciate. It looks like a little bit of a kind of a diverse group of kids too. So,
But they're
I'm
actually
grateful.
just respecting these things.
Yeah, exactly. I'm grateful that there's respectful and honorable youth
Mm-hmm.
All
that
right,
are
so I think
not
next
poisoned by
one's
social media.
from Melux. Submission from Melux. Turkeys try to lure a bobcat out of home with laser pointers on the end of their tasers.
Not a bobcat. Can you confirm?
Is that what Bobcat was up to on the weekend?
Yeah. But I'm hoping there's a video.
It looks like there is video. And the
Okay.
video belongs to the government. Excellent.
Okay.
He's right there. He's up on that shelf behind the plant.
Oh.
Right? I know. I know.
Yo, guys, look at this thing.
Oh, come on, show us the video.
Well, I'm gonna see if you take.
Hi, kitty, kitty.
Holy shit,
This is a laser.
dude.
I don't know. Cats like lasers.
It's not a normal cat.
Dude, cats are all the same. They all like the same thing.
You guys are hilarious.
Hey, look, Kiki.
What else do you want him to do?
Yesterday
Wait,
we
that
told
work-
you
it
the
didn't
story
work.
of.
Oh,
He's
darn it! I was really hoping to see it work.
Yep,
I
that would have
know.
been hilarious. But I don't know what else she expected them to do.
The bobcat was not impressed by the lasers. Okay.
Yeah, throw it down.
Exactly. So standard cat, not interested in playing.
Open the
They
door
should have
and
just put a
shoo it
box
out.
on the floor.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
Bob.
kidding. That's
See
what
if
it
it jumps
was.
into the box. Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know what she expects regular deputies to do otherwise. Like, sorry, you're gonna have to wait till
Animal
animal
control.
control gets here
Well,
with the noosey stick.
Right.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, they might as well try the laser pen. See if
Yep.
they can get it to
Right.
jump around the floor.
You might as well
Okay.
give it a shot. Otherwise, wait for animal control to come in and get the noosey stick. There's probably a proper name for that, but you know what I mean.
I like the last lines here. The animal remained unfazed and stayed put. The sheriff's office said the bobcat eventually left of its own accord right out the open back door.
See,
I was
all
gonna say, if you
cats
just
are the
open the
same.
door, yeah, just open the door, it'll leave. Yeah.
Yep.
What?
Yes.
Why? How did it get in her house in the first place?
Probably just walk
She,
straight
I
in the
bet she
door.
must have a pet door. I bet she has a pet door.
Probably. But Dave,
Yeah.
you're a cat guy. You know, don't you know that cats just show up on their own? That's how I
Yeah,
acquired
yeah, they do.
my poor cat. He just walked in the front door one day and didn't fucking leave.
Yeah.
I had one do that. Like, I think I even sent pictures. I probably sent pictures to you guys.
Oh, I think
like,
I saw
came
it,
home
remember
one
that
day,
one.
and in the time, like, I opened my front door and went back to the car to get my shopping. And in that time, a ginger cat had just like walked in my house, and all it wanted to do was cuddle. And I sat there and I pet this cat for like an hour, and I'm taking pictures of it. I was like, "This is not my cat. This is not my cat."
Disco's so.
That's where you're wrong, Disco.
Disco's so.
And I gave it something to eat. Left the window open and it took itself out eventually. But I was just like, "This is not my cat."
Disco's so up on the toxoplasmosis that she's sitting there going, "Oh, it's a cat, must pet cat." Hang on a fucking second. Hour later.
It just wanted to cuddle. Like it literally just wanted to sit on my lap and be pet for like an hour, and then it was like, "All right, thanks, see ya." I've never seen it again.
But
I'm
of
not
course,
gonna lie. If a bobcat came into my house, and it's actually great possibility that what it could happen, I'd keep the little bastard.
yep,
Like,
I'd
just
give
like,
it a
"Here,
shot.
kitty."
Yeah.
Well, Bleach is also a member of the Toxo Club.
Yeah, Bleach is like, "I wouldn't be calling the deputies to come with the lizard pets. I have my own lizard
And
pets."
seriously, what the fuck did she?
Exactly.
What the fuck did this woman expect the cops to do? They're cops. They can't put handcuffs on the thing.
I mean, some of the cops might
Well,
try.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like there's an emergency animal control number.
Well,
You
there
know, you
is
call
in
the
some
cops,
places.
they got to call animal
Yeah,
control.
yeah.
And if I tell you to
So-
call animal control, most people don't know that number. So they call
That's
the police.
true too. They call
and then the police
911.
call the right people.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then apparently they also sent deputies. I just think that's. I mean, once they call you, you've kind of got to, because oh god, imagine if you didn't, how much whining there'd be. But
Well,
yeah,
if you did,
there's nothing for
Yeah.
If there's nothing the
Exactly,
cops could have done
Bobcat.
about that.
Bobcat's got the right. If not friend, why friend shaped?
Well, we had that whole conversation about the African wildcat and the European wildcat. If not friend,
Yep.
why friend shaped?
I've never had a stray cat get into my house before, but back when I was living in Denver, I did have a squirrel run into my house and then run into the basement and he just kind of, I was like, I spent a whole day just trying to get him out of my basement. And then here in Florida, I haven't had any stray cats either, but I have had a couple of lizards make their way into the house. So
Oh, I hear that's unavoidable
those are
down
fun.
there.
it is
Yeah.
because you open the garage door and then they just come into the garage and then they'll just wiggle the way, under the door or whatever to get into the house and stuff like that. Like,
I see no problem.
but I don't mind lizards in the house because they're harmless to me and they're great bug control, So
Yeah.
and they're smart enough to find their way out of the house too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get inserts to the bottom of the door that when the door swings all the way shut, a plunger on the inside of the door gem depresses a shield that
Yeah.
comes down, both for environmentals and bugs and lizards and things.
yeah. It's called a threshold. And I have not installed one. And so lizards have gotten in.
Yeah.
No, I think these were basics ones. You want to explain these basics?
I have 3 words to
Yeah.
explain this. America, fuck yeah.
Also, that was one of the high holy days for anyone from Indiana.
Yeah. But also it was Memorial
You
Day
posted it?
weekend, so
Yes.
the videos are...
Guys, this
I grew up
is
20 miles from
the
the tracks.
Peace Lap for America to honor Memorial Day and the U.S. Army's 250th birthday. To all the men and women of the U.S. Army and the 160th Special Operations Group.
Hold your phones the
happy
right way,
birthday
you
from all of us.
fuckwits.
This is something special.
Who films and portrait anymore?
See, this fella here with the beer can has the right idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
No phone in his hand.
Even the announcer was having a go. Hold your phone sideways, you fucking idiots.
And the helicopters are quieter than the cars.
Yep.
Right.
Oh yeah.
To be fair, the cars are close to the camera, but yeah.
No, I mean just by themselves individually. The cars are 10 times louder.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if that's it must be high enough to where wash isn't an issue. But there has to be a little bit, you'd think.
There's going to be some, but the way that track is, it's deceptive. That's a huge track. Massive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, those cars look tiny on it, and those cars are cars. So.
And they also kept the tradition of the slap having an accident.
Wow.
Yeah. Heli chopper.
They fly those things around here sometimes, and they are friggin' loud.
Mm-hmm.
They're not as loud as the jets.
That music's almost certainly going to get eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking over. Oh, there's the car.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
that Chinook delivery special.
Yeah.
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 And there's the F1 car, just like.
Yeah. Turn
Don't
on
get me
your
wrong,
blinkers,
F1
sir.
racing, it's fun to watch. It really is.
Signal.
Yeah. There's something special, especially American about NASCAR.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I always like when they go to the track at Indy with NASCAR, the Brickyard 400 or whatever the hell. It's like that's the most American track that's ever been built because it's not really an oval; it's a fucking square. It's great. And it's also I could rant about the Indy track for hours because again I grew up near it. Because Indiana had the most car manufacturers of any state at that time. That's why the track was built because they were all like trying to push speed records at that in the 19 teens. So that's why the track exists. So
I think the F1's still not all that popular over there.
It's we have what's called IndyCar and IndyCart, and there's some I can't be bothered to figure out the difference between the two. It's organizational bodies, but basically it replaced F1 back in the 70s.
Oh, see, I remember F1 like shaming itself like badly over there. Like probably about 20 years ago now. Where did they not have like 6 cars in a race?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What also blows my mind is rally is weirdly organically popular in the United States. We just can't get the European teams with the WRC to come over for very long because our roads are that much more challenging. It kind of blows my mind. And they had the Safari Rally for 30 years.
Yeah, Rally looks like something that would work great in America. Marcus, as Marcus points out in regards to the video we're showing, it's even better when you realize they stole the NASCAR car to put it in the helicopter. They didn't ask permission from the hierarchy. They just were like, dude, they just put it on a helicopter.
America is like built for fucking rally racing, man. Like, there's so many places.
Here's the problem:
rally racing in America.
The problem is the national forest roads, and I am getting people to understand that and I have a long history with this, getting like the administrators in the National Forest Service to be like, yeah, we can let us rent your roads. Oh, well, you're going to destroy the environment. No, the money that we could generate over time for a big enough event will take care of itself. Just ask the people in Pennsylvania. With Pikes Peak.
They have no.
Oh.
There's no motive for profit whatsoever in that administrative kind of thing.
No, that's not.
Fact,
and it's awful.
In a way, it's better that there's not, because that'll prevent a little bit of exploitation, like unjust exploitation.
To an extent, but it makes it so difficult to do rally stages because there's some amazing roads. But state parks will work with you, and that's the thing, because it's not really about generating revenue; it's padding their maintenance budget. And like, wait a minute, we're going to have enough vehicles on this kind of shitty road where it kind of grooms itself with 30, 40 cars. Yeah.
And add in the fact that, they rent it out. Oh no, you might damage the road. It's like, yeah, but you can afford an entire new fucking road crew. So once they spend a week fixing that road, you've got another 51 weeks of free road crew to send out elsewhere.
Now, the only way they'd buy into that is if the organization offered to come out and fix the roads themselves.
We've done that. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, we've done that. Is back in the old SCCA days before it became a liability for that organization. We had to start our own damned organizations. It's like we would go out and like fix fences and just random shit. But we were like, hey, we care for these roads maybe more than you do because we want to have fun on them. You just want to keep us off. And it's like it's a weird battle. And
that's like that's the sportsman's argument. Like that's why the sportsmen are generally better conservationists than a lot of the environmentalists, because the sportsmen want to preserve something for use, and the environmentalists just want to have this fucking glass, the snow globe that they can look at from afar and not have to interact with it or deal with it.
And it's funny.
To use it.
Even like difficult property owners, once they realized that we were going out there and spending money out of pocket, not necessarily the organizational money, to fix fences and would actually look in on them, they would call in the interim. It's like, so when's the event this year? We're going to do a big family barbecue, and we want to know when that road's going to be closed so we can get everybody there. And we'd work with them. And it was a great thing for that community, and multiple communities. So, I miss those days.
Yeah,
I'm not really a big race sports fan, but fuck me if the just the crowds at the NASCAR stuff. It really makes you want to get into the spirit of the thing, doesn't it?
Well, I tell you, NASCAR has improved lately because it's no longer a popular hip thing for people to do.
Because Patrick isn't fucking driving anymore.
Oh, that's stupid. Oh, we're still. Have we finished white pills? Because I want to
still
go
on the
off
white
of that.
pills.
All right.
We're waiting for the outro, so Disco, quick, before Bleach says something.
Hey there, kids, sing a laugh along with sing a lover song. No way, Jose, to monkeys, gray pills, they're totally a bore. Tinko's got the magic that we're all cheering for. With her steppy stool so trusty, she winks and gives a smile, handing out her white pills, they're the coolest style. Hooray, hooray for white pills of hay. They zap away the gloom and make the world so yay. Not like Danzig's black pills, they're no fun at all. Hooray, hooray, white pills, let's have a ball. Hooray, hooray, white pills.
And that is the last happy thing you will have on today's show.
All right. Fuck Danica Patrick. Fucking goddamn.